Hey, fourth graders, it's Mrs. Seals back for our next science lab. Last week we started talking about force and motion, and we were talking about how when we push or pull an object, we can put it into motion and change its position. Today we are going to continue with force and motion by talking about a force called gravity. So your target says I can complete an investigation to explore the effect of gravity on an object. So hopefully you remember that force is a push or a pull that can change the position or motion of an object or material. So think back to last week, we did the ping pong poppers. We used the popper to push the ping pong ball, the golf ball, and the bouncy ball up. And then we also saw a force that pulled them back down towards the earth, and that is gravity. That's what we're talking about today. So gravity is a force that pulls objects towards each other. Gravity causes objects to fall toward the center of the earth. The pull of gravity holds planets in their orbits around the sun. Anything that has mass also has gravity. However, we just don't observe it or see it because objects with more mass have more gravity. So we don't see these two objects being pulled towards each other because they don't have a lot of mass. The reason that we see gravity as things falling down towards the earth is because the earth has the most mass. It's the largest object on our earth, right? Is the earth. So that means since it has the most mass, it has the strongest gravitational pull. That's why we observe gravity as a force that pulls things down towards the center of the earth when it's actually a force that pulls objects towards each other. Okay, does that make sense? All right, so gravity gets weaker with distance. So the closer objects are to each other, the stronger their gravitational pull is. So today we're going to do an experiment to observe gravity acting on an object. This is kind of a STEM investigation that I'm trying to remember. I think we did it last year when you guys were in third grade. I can't remember though. Sometimes I do it with third grade, sometimes I don't. This is called the Egg Drop Challenge. And the way that this works is that each team, each table group will be given a certain amount of supplies, and the challenge is to create a structure that will protect an egg from the pull of gravity, because I'm going to be dropping the egg from about 10 feet. Gravity is going to pull it down towards the center of the earth, and your job or your challenge is to create something that will protect it and keep it from being broken. If you're at home, this would be a great activity for you to do. All of the supplies for this are fairly inexpensive. You could get them at the dollar store. Please make sure you have a parent's permission though, because this can be messy if your egg does not survive. So, even though it's not dangerous, still make sure you have a parent's permission. So here are the supplies that each team gets. And each team does not have to use all of these supplies, but these are all the supplies you get. I don't give you any more. Okay, so each team gets, oh, sorry, dropping stuff here. Each team gets 25 straws. It doesn't matter what kind. Some of these are bendy, some of these are straight. Doesn't matter what color. 25 straws. Each team also gets 10 wooden popsicle sticks, a small foam plate, and masking tape. That's all you get. And again, you don't have to use all of these materials, but this is all you get. I won't give you more straws or sticks or tape or another plate. So let me give you some pointers because I've done this for a couple of years. A lot of kids, their first thought is, okay, I need to use all of my materials to create a nice, soft, pillowy landing so that the egg doesn't break when it's dropped. Okay, and yes, you do need some materials on the bottom to create a soft fall. However, what's probably even more important than that is creating something to hold the egg in place. If you do not use your materials to create a structure to hold the egg in place on the plate, what's going to happen is when I drop it, when the egg hits the floor, it's going to bounce out and splat onto the floor. Okay, I'm going to be dropping this from about 10 feet, which is pretty high. Gravity is going to pull hard. It's going to pull your egg down hard. If you do not have something to keep it in place, it's not going to survive. Okay, so what's going to happen here at school is each team will get about, I don't know, 5 minutes to talk about their plan, maybe draw their plan out. Then I will give them their materials. They'll probably have about 20-25 minutes to build their structure, which sounds like a lot, but it goes by fast, especially if your group does not have a plan, and especially if your group is fighting or arguing and not communicating. You need to have a plan. You need to work well together and listen to each other's ideas. Okay. And then when the time is up, I will get out my step ladder. Each group will give me their structure. I'll put the egg in it. That's another thing. They're not going to get the egg until it's time. So you have to create something for me to put it into. And then I'll drop them. All right. It's just for fun. It's not for a grade. It's just so we can see gravity acting on objects. And then a little fun challenge to see if we can create something to protect the egg from the pull of gravity. Okay. If this is something you choose to do at home, if you have a parent's permission, I would love to see what you create. You can send me a picture or a video. Let me know if it worked out or not. After this video, there is a short quiz on Schoology about gravity. Remember, it's not required. It's not for a grade. It's just for me to see what you know. Again, one more time, if you would like to do this at home, the materials that the kids are getting in class are 25 straws, 10 wooden popsicle sticks, a small foam plate, and masking tape. About 5 minutes to think of a plan, draw it out, and then about 20 or 25 minutes to build the structure, then put the egg in, then drop it. Remember, the most important part is creating something to hold the egg in place so that when it falls, it will stay. All right. If you do this, send me a picture or a video. Let me know if your structure protected your egg. I'd love to see what you come up with. I hope that you guys had fun learning about gravity, and I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.